Hey guys, it's Tuesday, October 8th, 2013.
Well, tell her that I miss our little talks.
So for the last 24 hours, my computer has refused to load a single YouTube video, probably because it knows deep down in its heart that I need to be reading Shakespeare. But as a result, I was unable to watch Claire's video yesterday, and only know that her story was very scary via Sydney's comment, so I hope mine stacks up. I don't have a ton of scary stories in my repertoire, mostly because I'm terrified by everything, and therefore people usually refrain from telling me scary stories. For example, one time I was studying maths with some friends and was told a story about a haunted German castle, and proceeded to almost crash my car on the way home because I thought there was a nun in the back seat. Anyway, this story is not one that I experienced personally. It's a story that my mom told me only this summer because she figured if she told it to me before, I would freak out. A little backstory, when I was 8 years old, we remodeled my house and we took off the roof, we redid the entire second floor, and now it's really nice, etc. But before that, the upstairs had not been remodeled since the house was built in 1908. And it was like really weirdly laid out and super stuffy and majorly creepy. Basically, until I was 8, I was afraid to go upstairs in my house because you rounded the corner up onto the stairs and there was just this like stuffy presence. The air physically felt different. And you walked into this playroom and there was this chalkboard that we could never quite get clean. And then you walked past these creepy old bedrooms that nobody ever slept in, and into this storage room. And the storage room was super creepy because it was full of like old hat boxes, and most importantly, a stuffed taxidermy fox. One weekend, my brother and I went to our dad's house, so our mom was home alone, and one of her closest friends at the time was really into this like psychic-y stuff. So anyway, the friend brings her psychic over, and they all sit and like hold hands around our dining room table, and my mom feels like it's really ridiculous because, you know, it kind of was. So the psychic is sitting there with her eyes closed, and she says, "I sense a cynic in the room." And my mom was like, yeah, that'd be me. No, I don't believe in any of this. And so the psychic was like, "Okay, well, we'll see about that." And she goes upstairs, and she's gone for like 5 minutes. My mom and her friend are just sitting downstairs. My mom turns to her friend and is like, "This is ridiculous." And then she comes downstairs and says to my mom, "Who's that creepy old man on the sofa? He keeps writing on the chalkboard." So my mom and her friend went upstairs with the psychic to try to see the creepy old man. And there were a bunch of like chalk marks on the chalkboard. And my mom was like, "Oh, well, the psychic did that, like, whatever." And then the psychic has her sit down on the couch, supposedly next to this creepy old man. And it's usually like 100 degrees up there, and suddenly it gets freezing right where my mom is sitting. And she puts her hand out, and she can feel the cold right next to her. So my mom, of course, is like, I'm going downstairs right now. And she goes down the stairs, and the psychic and her friend follow her, and then they leave. And she's like, "Well, great, now I'm stuck in this creepy house with a creepy old man on the sofa by myself." So she decides to go back up the stairs to like convince herself that it was BS and the psychic was just pulling her leg, and she got into it because, you know, a lot of times you believe what people tell you. And when she got back to the top, there was nothing on the chalkboard. It was completely blank. I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm super stoked that it's October because it's like actual fall, and there are like red and yellow trees outside of my window, and yesterday we had a freak rainstorm and it's awesome. Sydney, I'll see you on Thursday.